Let's take a listen now to what some of the protesters had to say.
ما تحقق كل المطالب، نحن ما بنبارح المنطقة دي إن شاء الله نقعد لحد ما تحقق المطالب. ده هدفنا جينا من أجله هسه وقاعدين
طالبين من الرئيس مش إسقاط، حل الحكومة، بأنه طالبين من رئيس مجلس الوزراء يحل الحكومة ويشكل من الأحزاب الموجودة اللي هو موقع الوثيقة بأنه بعدالة وحكومة بتاعت كفاءة ويوفروا لنا المعيشة.
احنا عايزين نضبط الحكومة دي لأنه الحكومة المدنية الآن فشلت تماما، وعايزين هذه الفترة الانتقالية تديرها حكومة عسكرية تحت العسكر.
For more, we can speak to our regional correspondent, Caroline Kimeu, who is in Nairobi, Kenya. Caroline, why are these protests in Sudan happening now?
Protests are actually happening in the wake of a coup attempt last month that was attributed to Bashir loyalists. The coup was actually foiled. However, it brought to the fore a lot of the tensions between the military side of the government and the civilian side of the government. Since 2019, Sudan has had a government that's a transitional government in place that's part military, part civilian, and it was meant to usher the country into a civilian democratic government within a matter of years, and leading up to elections that will potentially be held in 2024. However, right now, with a lot of the tensions between the government being so public, that might be in jeopardy. We've seen the military side of the government call out the civilian side for mismanagement and hoarding of power. And we've also seen the civilian side call out the military side, alleging that the military's efforts and instigation of the public are part of a military grab of power. So there is quite a bit of tension there, and we have seen calls by the military again for changes to the to the Forces for Freedom and Change, which is the civil alliance that ushered in the transition government. It's not clear what will happen next, but protests are still ongoing.
And Caroline, can you talk a little bit more about what these protests might mean for the future of Sudan's transition?
Well, it's the transition government is on shaky ground right now, with Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok referring to the current tensions as a very difficult, the most difficult phase that the country has gone through since the transitional government came into place. So it's certainly on shaky ground, and essentially there are a lot of economic pressures going on in the country right now. We know that the country is going through severe economic strife, as part of the reason being that Prime Minister Abdallah has put in place certain measures to ensure the country is able to get debt relief and international financing, which include like slashing of fuel subsidies and which have heightened the level of financial pressure on the average Sudanese citizen. So there is bound to be like a snowball effect from the ground up, requesting changes within the government. What that change looks like is uncertain at the moment. However, we do know that protests in favor of the transition government are set to take place on Thursday. So we'll wait and watch.
All right, Caroline Kimeu, thank you very much for that update on the political situation in Sudan.